So a very warm welcome to everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So here we are to help you guys out with the last 7 days of CLAT left in our hands. And I know that most of you are facing this fear as to what will happen, kaise karenge exam, kya hoga exam mein. So don't worry, we are here to help you guys out. We both are here. Sir is here. He is a familiar face amongst the students. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Welcome all of you. Hi, students.
So, sir, as we know that CLAT is approaching, most of the exams are approaching. The month of December is not only cold for us, it is also cold for the students because apparently they have so many exams, right? So, sir, this time we know that just 7 days are left for CLAT 2023. So, sir, anxiety level, this level of stress that the students are facing. So, they wanted this session. So, can you just tell us that what is the basic what are the basic tips that you would want to give to them right now in order to manage them, just to control their stress levels?
Okay, fine. First of all, let's deal with the stress level anxiety students are facing. Primarily the reason is that they have their pre-board exams also right now, I think planned or going on. And along with this, they have to appear for various competitive exams all at the same time. And everywhere you talk about their board exams, pre-board exams, conditional tests, December tests, or you talk about competitive exams, both are equally important. We cannot ignore one at the cost of another. So this should be, they should not worry actually student that if they focus on one, they will lose another. So they need to strike right balance between their school studies and competitive exam studies. And primarily, if I look at board exams, if I talk about board exams, they already know the syllabus. They already have covered their 80-90% of syllabus. Most of them already have completed their entire syllabus and they are revising the stuff. So nothing to worry about board syllabus, board exams. Still, we have got the time. But when it comes to competitive exams, we are left with only 7 days. So first tip from my side would be, please do not start anything new from your side. If you have left any particular topic, let it be mathematics or legal aptitude or GK, if you haven't touched any area in particular, do not start anything afresh in these 7 days. You just have to consolidate. You have learned a lot. You have put your efforts a lot. Everything is fine with you. We are here to support you. Your parents are supporting you. Everyone is supporting you. So nothing to worry about. You just have to consolidate your strengths. Where you are strong, just consolidate, and please do not worry about that you were not able to understand one particular mathematics topic. काफी लोगों को मैथमेटिक्स से डर लग रहा होता है, उनको 10th क्लास से डर लगना शुरू हुआ था, आज तक डर लगता आ रहा है. So mathematics का there is not significant role in law entrance exams. We have got only 15 questions. And weightage wise, out of 150, it has got only 15 questions. So nothing to worry about mathematics. Primarily, the game would be decided by your rest of the 4 subjects, primarily your current affairs, GK and legal, and then LR and English. So nothing, don't start new in these 7 days. Just revise the stuff.
Right, sir. So, sir, talking about verbal as a section, so, sir, what should be the basic strategy of every student right now? Or otherwise?
Right. So, I'm assuming that they have taken a couple of mocks, or probably they are finished with their mocks and win CLATs and mock CLATs. So, still we are left with 1 or 2 CLATs will be released in due time before the exam, no doubt. But primarily, it is at this time, I'm assuming that they are pretty aware of their strengths and weaknesses. Okay, for example, if I take the legal aptitude, right? Legal aptitude, they're pretty clear about, let's say, constitution-based questions or maxim-based questions, exim-based questions, or tort or law of contracts, whatever the subject areas are, topics are in their legal aptitude. So write down all the topic and just keep on ticking that you are comfortable with these areas. And please do not look at the areas in which you are not comfortable. So right now, assuming that you have taken a couple of mocks, you already are aware of your strengths and weaknesses. So focus only on your strengths right now. Nothing to worry about your weaknesses. And very important, please do not look at your scores right now. In these 7 days, if you're taking any leftover mocks or practice test, you need not to worry about your score nahi aaya. Score ab kam chal raha. Last ke 7 din mein agar score kam aa gaya, to you will get the heart attack kind of feeling. Wo karne ki zarurat nahi hai. Purpose is, if you're still left with couple of mocks, purpose is to just analyze and to make your mind familiar with that exam question, the flow of the questions and the flow of the paper in your mind, and be in touch with reading and solving questions.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So talking about UG level exams, so what is the latest trend going on when it comes to English?
Yeah, in English, we have got only RC, reading comprehension passages. First of all, it's strategy wise. If you look at, I've already told students that this is we do not have any sectional time limit in this exam. It's 2-hour exam, 120 minutes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas, right? Quant 15 questions should not give more than 10 minutes to quant. Then after 10 minutes, we shall be left with 110 minutes and remaining 4 areas. And remaining 4 areas is very, very important. So make sure that you divide your time. For example, I tell my student in English, we have got 30 questions, right? 30 questions should be given 25 minutes. As soon as you see that you are about to finish your 25 minutes allotted to this section, move on to some other section, the next section. And for example, logical reasoning, I have kept, let's say from my side, I have kept 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, whatever number of questions you are able to attempt, move after 30th minute, move on to next GK section. GK section again should not be given more than 20 or 25 minutes. I have assigned 25 minutes, for example. After 25 minutes, whatever number of questions you have attempted, move on to the next section. In this way, you'll be able to, students will be able to maintain the sectional balance. I've seen most of the students, if they do not plan the time accordingly, they end up leaving one section, or they end up one section altogether, or they are able to attempt only 1 or 2 or at the max 5-6 question in the last section. So it's very important to have sectional time limit in mind while taking this exam. Rest everything else would be taken care of. And coming back to English, your question, ma'am. In English, we have got RCs, and in RCs, we have got primarily the areas like humanities and sociology. These two areas dominated. There we see the dominance of these two areas in CLAT or CLAT level exams, especially 12th level exams, because at this age, so students at this age, at 18 or 18 and a half, 12th class age group, so they also do not expect that you should be constitutional expert or philosophy expert, psychology expert, humanities expert, or legal expert. They're just checking your ability to understand the language. If I'm talking about the understanding, it is not that we cannot speak this language, we cannot write this language. We all can speak, write, and understand this language well. But this is only first level. Second level is your ability to read in between the lines. जो नहीं लिखा वो आपको समझ आना चाहिए, because one of the very important question types is inference. So they are just checking our ability to draw inferences. Otherwise, English तो हम सबको पढ़ना आता है, right from your school days, right from nursery class till 12th class, you are all studying in English medium school. So they are not checking your ability to read. वो IELTS में होता है कि कुछ बोल के दिखाओ, कुछ गा के दिखाओ, वैसा नहीं है. So they are just trying to figure out your sharpness, your level of comfort is language. So majorly in 7 days के अंदर भी please be in touch with reading editorials, be in touch with reading editorials. So last में क्या होगा, students कुछ और सब्जेक्ट करना शुरू कर देंगे, रीडिंग छोड़ देंगे. If I look at English, if I look at logical reasoning, if I look at even GK, legal aptitude, everything comes in the form of paragraph followed by 5 or 6 questions. Right. So unless you are pretty comfortable with reading first and then you're understanding first, there's no point you can think of scoring well in this exam. So it's very important to focus on reading, and for reading one should have calm, composed and focused mind. अगर आपके माइंड में, स्टूडेंट्स के माइंड में बहुत सारी चीजें इकट्ठा चलती रहेंगी while reading anything, believe me, they'll not be able to understand sometimes simple stuff. काफी बार तो ऐसा होता है 4th या 5th RC करते हुए they have to reread the same line again and again so as to understand what is given to us. So वो focus out हो जाता है. So it's very important to build a stamina also. तो इसलिए reading करते रहना जरूरी है, नहीं तो वो आप focus lose कर जाओगे पेपर में पढ़ते हुए. You will be able to attempt first 3 RCs good, well, and 4th RC थोड़ा फोकस आउट होगा, 5th RC में you will start smiling, और 6th RC में आपको लगेगा कहीं स्टैंड अप हो रहा है.
Right, sir. So here is a tip for everyone. See guys, you are going to give a national level exam that is obviously testing your aptitude. It is also testing your language proficiency, right? So what you need to understand here is that you need to stay calm, composed in order to prove that you're efficient enough. You want admission there, right? So you need to be calm, you need to be composed. टेंशन लेने से कुछ नहीं होगा, एग्जाम एंजाइटी से कुछ नहीं होगा. All you need to do is just revise, keep on reading, read till the last end, and please do give your exam बहुत शांति से. Now, moving on to the next question, sir. So the next question is, so what is the weightage of verbal section in CLAT paper? And also, please do highlight the importance that the verbal section has in this particular exam.
So 30 RCs. And if I look at, because we verbal teachers teach them critical reasoning also, so I'll combine these two areas. So 60 out of 150 questions, 60 upon 150 into 100, easily we can make out the percentage. It is approximately it will come out to be 40 plus percentage, because 150 may say 60 question, right? 75 is 50% and 60 question, it is approximately 50%. So I'll combine both the areas, English and logical reasoning. So both have got the weightage approximately 50%, and 50% is major, significant. 45 plus percent is your significant area. And we cannot afford to lose focus while solving English or while solving LR, critical reasoning question. In English, and the difference between English and critical reasoning is very simple. In English, we have got a little lengthy paragraph, let's say 500 words, 400 words paragraph. But in logical reasoning, the paragraphs would be small in comparison to RCs. In LR part, critical reasoning part, we have 250, 300 words, or at the max 350, at the max 400 words paragraphs. But the difference between this critical reasoning and English is that in English, we have got a little bit elaboration. There would not be so much reasoning involved in the RC section, but critical reasoning, absolutely, the name, from the name, it is clear that it would be having some sort of logical reasoning in it. In RC, it is your understanding, your level of comfort. In critical reasoning, it is level of comfort with language, as well as your ability to understand the logical flow, the arguments given in the passage. So, दोनों का approach थोड़ा अलग है. रीजनिंग में आपको समझ नहीं आया कि मेन आर्गुमेंट क्या है, देयर इज नो पॉइंट वी कैन थिंक ऑफ स्ट्रेंथनिंग और वीकनिंग द आर्गुमेंट. काफी लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम रहते हैं, दे आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन, मेन आइडिया, द मेन आर्गुमेंट गिवन इन द क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग क्वेश्चन पैराग्राफ्स, एंड दे आर नॉट एबल टू थिंक अबाउट द स्ट्रेंथनिंग और वीकनिंग पार्ट. assumption नहीं पता लगेगा, इन्फ्रेंस चलो फिर भी आप कर लेंगे, बिकॉज द सेम क्वेश्चन यू विल फाइंड इन आरसीज आल्सो. लकीली मैम, जो मैंने लास्ट टाइम अभी जो मई में इनका जून में पेपर हुआ, उसमें मैंने देखा that the critical reasoning paragraphs as well as reasoning RC paragraphs, they were of similar nature. In same question, probably same type of questions were asked in both the areas. वही main idea उधर है, वही main idea इधर है, वही inference उधर, वही inference इधर. So more or less, they gave this RC touch to critical reasoning section as well. तो मुझे लग रहा है कि इस बार भी क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग आसानी होने वाला है, जैसे मई जून के अंदर था इनका. सो आई थिंक नथिंग टू वरी अबाउट. द पॉइंट इज you should be clear about you should be aware of the tricks, how to solve main idea, how to capture the main argument, and strengthening weakening हम अपने सबको सिखाए है. So ये एक बैकड्रॉप रहेगा. एंड करंट अफेयर्स के अंदर समटाइम्स इट्स नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, मोस्ट ऑफ टाइम इट्स नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट टू रीड द एंटायर पैराग्राफ टू सॉल्व जीके क्वेश्चंस. काफी बार अगर आपका जीके थोड़ा अच्छा है, यू आर इन टच विद करंट जीके आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, if you're in touch with newspaper and whatever we are providing, like say Bulldoze GK, or you're listening, attending these lectures regularly, so you'll be able to solve a good number of questions in your GK section. And पढ़ने की भी कभी काफी बार जरूरत नहीं होती, just look at the blank, उसके आगे पीछे वाला word देखा है, scan the option and mark your answer.
Right.
GK,
so I was coming to this question only, as most of the students have asked me that, ma'am, what is the difference between the RCs that we get in English, in legal reasoning, and in GK? What is the major difference?
The basic difference would be the essence of the area. For example, in English, we want to check your language proficiency, likewise you already have mentioned. In logical reasoning, we want to check your ability, your sharpness to attend to understand the logic presented, because you're thinking of entering legal field. अब legal field के अंदर lawyers क्या करते हैं, argument करते हैं. Argument negative नहीं है word. So argument में you need to understand the story part and the assumption behind. For example, this person has committed this crime. What were his assumptions? What we can make out? जो कोर्ट में जो जज जो जजमेंट देता है, वो in the world of reasoning it is called inference, because the famous couple of lines like looking at all the trials proceedings and the evidence submitted by both the parties, we have court has reached this conclusion, this person has committed this crime. So वो जो जज बोल रहा है वो एक इन्फ्रेंस है, विदाउट रीडिंग करे, वो प्रोसीडिंग्स को करे बिना नहीं कर सकता. सो आप भी एक लॉयर अच्छा बनना चाहते हैं, यू वांट वन डे, यू आल्सो वांट टू गो फॉर जुडिशियल सर्विसेज, यू वांट टू बिकम जज. सो दे वांट टू चेक योर एबिलिटी टू अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक्स आल्सो, रीजनिंग आल्सो. एंड लैंग्वेज आ गया आपको, सो रीजनिंग. तो इंग्लिश में दे वांट टू चेक योर लैंग्वेज understanding ability, and logical reasoning they want to check your reasoning ability to understand the reasoning. hidden reasoning in it, the flow of argument, logic, उसमें क्या मान के बोला, assumption क्या थी, and current affairs, your ability to understand the world around, what is happening. And legal में, it's a very broad area, legal aptitude. So legal aptitude में, because from 5th class onwards, we start covering the civics or the social sciences. There we are only aware of that our fundamental rights. Most of us are not even aware of our fundamental duties, and most of the students are not aware of the weightage, the substance we find in the word fundamental. Fundamental का मतलब होता है अगर ये right violate हो गया तो non-bailable offense होता है, no trial, straightway the person will be sent to the jail, given in sentence. So ये essence of the area. So they want to check आप lawyer बनना चाहते हैं, आप शेफ बनना चाहते हैं, सिंगर बनना चाहते हैं, गोल्फर बनना चाहते हैं, क्रिकेटर बनना चाहते हैं, तो आपको LLB कोई हेल्प नहीं करने वाला. सो एक लॉयर अच्छा सिंगर क्रिकेटर कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट लॉ उसमें हेल्प नहीं करेगा. सो लॉ के लिए जो क्वालिटी चाहिए एक अच्छे लॉयर के अंदर, यू टॉक अबाउट हरीश साल्वे, यू टॉक अबाउट राम जेठमलानी, दे आर एंड दे स्टिल वुड बी कंसीडर्ड एमिनेंट लॉयर्स. सो लॉयर के लिए आर्गुमेंट समझने के लिए शार्पनेस के लिए यू शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ द ट्रिक्स that we already have taught you. And quant तो concept driven है. Out of 15 question, anyone who has put in efforts would be able to solve probably 9 to 10 questions easily. Minimum 8 आपने कर लिया तो quant में question करना additional bonus है. चाहे आपका quant strong था, weak था, but it's not possible to attempt all the 15 questions in 10 minutes, but at least go for 7 to 8 question minimum. ये added bonus होता है law वालों के लिए.
All right, sir. So, sir, now I'll give you a break and I would like to answer some of the questions that the students have asked me.
Yes, ma'am. Legal aptitude के बारे में आप बताएं.
So, the question that the students have asked me is very general. That is, कि ma'am, do we have any sectional cutoff and do we have any sectional time limit? So, the answer is no, we do not have any sectional time limit, guys. And if we would have had sectional time limit, then the CLAT paper would have been very easy, because then you would have had known कि इतने टाइम में ये सेक्शन खत्म करना है. Time management is the basic problem that we see with most of the students when it comes to CLAT paper. Why? Because we have a lot to do and just 120 minutes. Right, guys? So there is no sectional time limit. All you have to do is manage the time as per you have already done in the mocks. I'm just presuming that you've already given your mocks and you know how to manage the time. Right? If you don't know how to manage the time, see, the standard procedure as to how you should proceed with it should be that you have to see the weightage that the particular section carries, and then you have to see how much time can be devoted to this particular section. For example, quants we all know is just for 15 marks, right? So there's no point giving more than 15 minutes to quants, right? Because jitna marzi acha karo, milne to 15 marks hi hai, right? There's no point spending half an hour on it, right? So this is what you should understand, the weightage and the time that you should give for a particular section are proportional, right? So keep it in that proportion only, right? For English section, I know there's a lot to read. So there you can spend around 30 to 35 minutes, but don't take more than that as well, right? Because we have legal also, we have logical reasoning also, and then we have GK, of course, right? So you have to manage all these sections in just 2 hours. Another point that most of the students have asked here, what should we do to improve our reading speed?
So reading speed, I just want to add to your answer to the previous question. See guys, English we have got only RCs and everything is based on reading in this entire exam. So take this myth out of your mind that you will be able to attempt all the 150 questions. At the max, we can go for 80% of total questions. 80% of total questions. So if I look at English, 80%, 30 questions, 80% would be approximately 24-25 questions, means 5 passages. It's for sure that within the time limit allotted, 25 minutes, let's say 30 minutes, you have to leave 1 RC so as to accommodate rest of the sections as well. So at the max, we can go for 80 to 85% of the paper. काफी लोगों को लगता है कि स्कूल का पेपर है, सारा पेपर करके आना है, 3 घंटे एग्जाम है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 लिखा, देन वी हैव टू राइट द आंसर, जो भूल जाते हैं उसका स्पेस छोड़ दिया, बाद में आके दोबारा लिखेंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. सो मेक श्योर दैट टेक दिस मिथ आउट ऑफ योर माइंड दैट सम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स, मोस्ट ऑफ द इंटेलिजेंट स्टूडेंट्स वुड बी एबल टू अटेम्प्ट ऑल द 150 क्वेश्चन. ऐसा नहीं होता है. जो 150 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करके आ रहे हैं वो सिर्फ टिक करके आ रहे होते हैं. दे आर देयर टू गेट द फील ऑफ द एग्जाम, दे आर नॉट सीरियस एस्पिरेंट्स. वैसे भी मैं आपको सभी स्टूडेंट्स को बताया था, जो 50% एस्पिरेंट्स होते हैं, दे आर नॉट सीरियस. 50% generally take the exam, write the exam to get the feel of the paper. उनका इरादा होता है नेक्स्ट ईयर का करने का. Let's say, for example, if let's say 50,000 students are appearing for this exam, 25,000 को निकाल दो, वो सिर्फ feel लेने आ रहे हैं, right? Remaining 25%, in 25,000 में से 50% जो होंगे जो half-hearted attempt से तैयारी करा, उनका तैयारी अच्छा नहीं होता, 12,000 और चले गए बाहर. So we are left with only 12,000 or 13,000 students. अब ये जो है aspirant, they are damn serious about their career objectives and they'll put their 100% to score whatever and whatever it takes. So this competition total सभी के बीच में नहीं होता, competition होता है सिर्फ serious aspirants के बीच में, and serious aspirants will focus on accuracy. And when we focus on accuracy, it is next to impossible to attempt to read all the questions. 80% तक हम attempt कर सकते हैं at the max. Unless you have got stronghold over one section, किसी का English अच्छा होगा, किसी का Maths अच्छा होगा, किसी का LR अच्छा होगा, so they can read all the 6 paragraphs, but it's next to impossible. In most of the section will minimum 4, maximum 5.5 or so, something like this. तो ये दिमाग से निकाल दो कि you have to attempt all the 150 question. आधे लोग इसी टेंशन में फटाफट मार्क कर रहे होते हैं. This is not a speed reading competition. They are checking your ability to accurately understand the situation. तो ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है 80%. और इंग्लिश में जो एक्यूरेसी होता है, इंग्लिश शुड नॉट बी कंपेयर्ड विद मैथमेटिक्स और LRDI because they have got universal language, these two subjects. English is in the shades of words. So काफी लोग जो होते हैं इंग्लिश को कंपेयर करते हैं मैथमेटिक्स के साथ या LR लॉजिकल रीजनिंग के साथ, तो वो नहीं करना है. English is your ability to understand the language. If I give same RC to different students from different countries, all of them would understand the same RC in different ways or differently, and there would be a variation in their degree of understanding. So ये दिमाग से निकाल दो कि RC जो है पूरा करना है. काफी लोग इसी चक्कर में, काफी लोग मैंने कहा ना रिवेंज करते हैं, रिवेंजफुल एटीट्यूड होता है टुवर्ड्स इंग्लिश. बाकी सब में होगा नहीं, लेकिन इंग्लिश को छोड़ना नहीं है आज. क्यों? इंग्लिश ने तुम्हारा क्या बिगाड़ा है? तो नहीं छोड़ना है ना. सो वो रिवेंजफुल एटीट्यूड नहीं रखना है. तो ये दिमाग में रखना है कि 80%, 30 में से 80%, 24-25 क्वेश्चन. सेम गोज फॉर LR आल्सो, 4 to 5, बिकॉज LR में यू नीड टू फोकस, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंडेंस्ड पैसेज. उसमें भी आप कितना 4 to 5 पैसेजेस कर पाओगे. एंड करंट अफेयर्स quickly rush through, you'll be able to attempt read all the paragraphs. Legal aptitude, again you have to think and you have to recall the stuff, जो principles आपको सिखाए गए हैं, जो भी theory सिखाई गई, you need to recall the stuff. So again at the max 37 questions हैं, अगर 38 question है, 80% would be 56, 24. At the max 30, 31, 32 questions. Same goes for current affairs also, because negative marking भी है, but I would again say that go for intelligent guess. Blind guess मत करो, because negative is only 1/4. तो आपके 4 क्वेश्चन गलत होंगे तो 1 नंबर कटेगा, बट 4 में से अगर एक भी ठीक हो गया तो आप नेट पॉजिटिव ही रहना है. अगर 2 ठीक हो गए तो नेट पॉजिटिव ही आना है. So do not worry about negative marks in general, but blind guessing would be very dangerous. पूरा पेपर blind guess से करके करोगे तो will not serve the purpose.
Right, sir. So I will take up another 2 questions now, sir. So the next question for me is,
ask students to unmute themselves, and they can write their question in the chat box and let them interact.
Right, sir. So all the students, please, you can write all your doubts, all your queries in the chat box itself. We are here to solve them, right? So please do make the maximum use of this particular session, because we are here to help you guys, right? So sir, next question for me is that please share some strategies for GK section. See, for GK section, of course, see, I'll tell you one thing, that GK is a subject जिसमें आपको आता है तो you know it. There's no point thinking about anything. See, you cannot say कि अभी नहीं आता तो थोड़ी देर बाद आ जाएगा. So there's no point wasting your time on it. So one thing that I would like to say here is कि अभी फिलहाल for the next 7 days, what you need to do is you need to revise the current affairs, because that is the portion that carries the maximum weightage when it comes to CLAT exam. Right? So please do revise the current affairs. Now, what all in current affairs should you revise? See, the recent developments worldwide. Second thing that you have to revise is any important national news, any important, let's say, program or any plan that has been initiated by the government, any such mission that has been launched. For example, there were many missions during the COVID period that were asked in the exam, right? Also, if there was any such case law or any such case that was in news these days, that basically comes there. This is all about the current affairs that you need to learn. right? So in the next 7 days, what you need to do is you just need to learn the current affairs, right? By heart, just go through them. I am presuming that most of the students will be smart enough that they might have made notes of the current affairs for themselves, relating them to the static portion, of course. Please go through the notes and please do go through the sticky notes जो आपने अपनी notebooks में लगाए हुए हैं कि ये याद करना है end में. Please do revise them. ठीक है, current affairs के लिए. And in the exam, what you need to do is that once you see the questions, then see, do you know this topic? Do you have any idea about this topic? Will you be able to answer it? And only then attempt the questions, right? As I've already said, GK में आता है तो आएगा, नहीं तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप थोड़ी देर बाद देखोगे तो आपको याद आ जाएगा, right? So this is one thing that you need to remember. And also, please don't waste much of your time here. If you know it, you'll be able to solve it within 10 minutes, right? So this is one thing. Next thing is, please don't get disheartened by GK. There are other sections जो आपको बचा सकते हैं, ठीक है? GK देखने के बाद most of the students are like कि नहीं होगा हमसे. So see, there are more sections as well. CLAT is not about GK. It is not only about English. It is not only about logical reasoning or legal reasoning in that case, right? It is a blend of all these subjects. So one thing that you need to remember here is कि किसी भी एक section से demotivate नहीं होना है, right? There are many lifesavers there, right? बहुत सारे sections हैं जो आपकी life बचा सकते हैं उधर. So please, one thing that you need to remember here is कि GK से demotivate नहीं होना, जितना आता है उतना करो and आगे बढ़ो, next section पे जाओ, right? I hope ये strategy सबको clear हो गई है. And now moving on to the next question, that is, so which will be beneficial for us, English section or legal section? Which should we attempt first?
So again, it depends on your strength and weaknesses. If we are pretty comfortable with English, so at the max, if you're even comfortable, if English is your strongest area, then also I would recommend to go for at the max 5 passages, because in 25 minutes, one thing we cannot change or alter is your time limit. Total be about 2 hours. And for English, if you have given 30 minutes, in 30 minutes, how many passages you can attempt? It is proportional to your ability, your inclination, and your strength area. So all the sections are equally important. For mathematics, 7 to 8, at the max 10 questions you read, and adding to your GK point. So ma'am, if you look at GK, and students, if you look at GK in this exam and GK in rest of the exams, GK generally is asked, generally we presume that GK is one-liner. GK would be one-liner question. The highest dam in India, 4 options. First to visit India, 4 options. But they give in the form of paragraph. अब paragraph का psychology समझिए. Paragraph का मतलब होता है, जैसे for example, if you're reading any news in the newspaper, it's about, let's say, riot in Indonesia. Riots हो गए इंडोनेशिया के अंदर, तो वहां पे लिखा गया था प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडोनेशिया मिस्टर सो एंड सो इशूड दिस डिक्री और ऑर्डर एंड होम मिनिस्टर ऑफ दिस एंड दिस एरिया ऑर्डर. तो उसका नाम लिखा होता है. अब वो क्या चेक कर रहे हैं स्टूडेंट के अंदर एबिलिटी, कि जब आप न्यूज या कुछ भी पढ़ते हो तो क्या आप इन कैरेक्टर्स को ध्यान से पढ़ते हो नहीं पढ़ते. एग्रीड दैट यू आर अवेयर ऑफ the fact that some problems started erupted in Indonesia, but उस न्यूज के अंदर जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर का नाम होगा पेपर क्लैट के अंदर वहां पे क्या कर देगा, वो ब्लैंक कर देगा. द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ब्लैंक, और उस नीचे क्वेश्चन होगा, उसका 4 ऑप्शन होंगे. तो जो कैरेक्टर्स के नेम है या जो इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट्स हैं वो कहाँ, वो फॉर एग्जांपल वन अर्थक्वेक डैश हैपेंड समवेयर, राइट. अब अर्थक्वेक कहाँ पे रिसेंट आया दिस मैग्नीट्यूड, एंड कुछ मेजर था, इसमें काफी किलिंग्स या विक्टिम्स हुए, काफी डेथ्स हो गई, तो वो ब्लैंक स्पेस का नाम कर देगा. ओके, इक्वाडोर में अर्थक्वेक आया, followed by 4 options. So they are checking students' ability to read anything carefully. लॉयर बनने के लिए आपको स्क्रिप्ट्स को केयरफुली पढ़ना आना चाहिए, बिकॉज अगर आपने वो मूवी देखी है जिसमें कौन था ये, अमिताभ बच्चन जो लॉयर का रोल प्ले कर रहा होता है, और वो हाँ,
Are we talking about Pink?
पिंक का तो ठीक है, में मर्डर करते हैं और वो बार बार अमिताभ बच्चन उससे बोलते हैं एवरीथिंग इज इन डिटेल, एवरीथिंग इज इन डिटेल. बाद में तापसी पन्नू को फंसा देते हैं, वो पकड़ लेते हैं तापसी पन्नू ने ही मर्डर किया था, पुश द कार. अच्छा वो पिंकी है, अच्छा वो पुश किया नहीं, वो शायद अलग मूवी ना हो. आई डोंट नो, बट उसमें डायलॉग था कि लॉयर जो होता है वो डिटेल को अच्छी तरह से पढ़ना, एवरीथिंग इज इन डिटेल, एवरीथिंग इज डिटेल। तो वो कोई मैसेज था, लॉयर्स का जो टेंडेंसी होता है, स्किल एप्टीट्यूड होता है, इज टू नो द डिटेल। आपने पूरा कहानी पढ़ लिया एंड यू आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ द मेन लीड्स, मेन कैरेक्टर्स, या किसने क्या किया, देन यू आर बी एबल टू रीच एनी पर्टिकुलर कंक्लूजन। और कोर्ट के ट्रायल के अंदर एक अच्छा लॉयर के अंदर उसको स्क्रिप्ट को केयरफुली पढ़ना आना चाहिए, अदरवाइज दे वुड आल्सो हैव गिवन वन लाइनर जीके क्वेश्चन। ऐसा हो सकता था ना कि जिसने इंडिया क्रिकेट में सबसे अच्छा स्कोर किया, टॉप स्कोरर इन इंडिया, 4 ऑप्शन, ऐसा नहीं देते वो पूरा। अगर वो T20 वर्ल्ड कप का पैराग्राफ होगा तो उसमें द बॉलर डैश स्कोर्ड मैक्सिमम विकेट्स, ब्रोक द वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड, वो कौन था वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड, इसके 4 ऑप्शन आ जाएंगे। सो अल्टीमेटली जीके दे आर टेस्टिंग योर एबिलिटी टू रीड वेरी वेरी केयरफुली। तो अभी भी आप जो पढ़ते हो केयरफुली पढ़ो। And both the subjects, all the subjects are equally important. It's not that LR or वो. So आपका strength would decide which to go, which section you should attempt first. But all the sections are equally important. It's not about liking or disliking. पेपर जो होता है, पेपर को लोग पता नहीं क्यों पिज्जा से कंपेयर करते हैं कि मेरे को वो वाला फ्लेवर का पिज्जा अच्छा लगता है। ये पेपर इज नॉट पिज्जा। आपको इंग्लिश में फ्लेवर चॉकलेट फ्लेवर अच्छा लगता है, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग इज वनीला फ्लेवर, करंट अफेयर इज काइंड ऑफ कोई और फ्लेवर, कोई फ्लेवर की बात थोड़ा ना हो रही है। यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट। आप जब लॉयर बन जाएंगे तो ये थोड़ा ना बोलेंगे, जो आपका क्लाइंट होगा उसकी शक्ल देख के बोलेंगे तेरी तो शक्ल ही अच्छी नहीं, तेरे तो केस नहीं लड़ना मैंने। So it's not about what you find good, what you find bad, what you find good in taste, what you find bad in taste. It is about your responsibility. So be responsible, be mature, and go for all the sections with enthusiasm, with positivity.
So I'll be taking another 2 questions here. So the question for me is that what should be the ideal serial order to solve the sections? It is as per your choice. As I say, जिसकी जिस चीज में श्रद्धा है वो पहले खत्म करो, जिस चीज में आपका इंटरेस्ट है वो पहले खत्म करो, ऑल्सो जिसमें आप बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट हो वो पहले खत्म करो, सो दैट यू गेट अ बूस्ट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस दैट कैन हेल्प यू सर्वाइव द एंटायर पेपर, राइट? दिस शुड बी इन योर माइंड while attempting the paper, right? Yeah. Second thing that you've asked me here, Rishika has asked me here, is that what should be the way to fill the OMR, one by one, after each question, or in the end altogether? I always tell students to fill it one by one. ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन खत्म करा फिल कर दो, बिकॉज व्हाट एक्चुअली हैपेंस इज कि एंड तक हम लोग इतने जंबल हो चुके होते हैं कि हम OMR फिल करते हुए भी गलतियां करते हैं, राइट? सो इन ऑर्डर टू अवॉइड दैट, दिस इज व्हाट यू कैन डू। बट अगर आपको लगता है कि आप अल्ट्रा लेजेंड हो, आप इतना स्ट्रेस नहीं ले सकते, आपको स्ट्रेस नहीं फील होता है, देन आप एंड में भी कर सकते हो। इट इज योर चॉइस, right? It is your paper, it is your choice.
Yes, I want to add this more to this point. You can go by page. For example, you are attempting any section, page one, maybe you've got 8 questions. Attempt 8 the question peacefully and then mark 8 questions. Turn on to the next page. Next में आपको फिर 8 क्वेश्चन नजर आ रहे हैं, solve the 8 questions and mark 8 questions. आराम से मार्क करो। तो पेज बाय पेज we can also go.
Right.
और लास्ट में your strategy क्वेश्चन बाय क्वेश्चन, लास्ट 5 minutes क्वेश्चन बाय क्वेश्चन। उसमें बिकॉज वो कभी भी स्नैच हो सकता है आपसे पेपर, सो आप वेट करो कि दैट आई विल फिनिश द पेपर फॉर द पेज फर्स्ट एंड देन आई विल मार्क माय OMR शीट ऑन माय OMR शीट। नहीं, लास्ट 5 to 10 minutes क्वेश्चन बाय क्वेश्चन, रेस्ट ऑफ द पेपर पेज बाय पेज।
So another question for you is, if I have better accuracy in English, can I allocate more time to English and less time to LR?
Better accuracy. See, I have allocated primarily, if you look at the division of the time, then more or less the division is same. In LR also we can at the max go for 5 paragraphs, and English also we can go for 5 paragraphs. But if you're super duper good in English, you've got exceptional abilities in verbal section, then I would recommend that, okay, you can take 5 minutes from some other section and you can attempt the last 6th passage also, which you are thinking of leaving earlier. You can go for 6th passage also, but it would be very risky. ये आपको लगता है, ज्यादातर लोगों को गलतफहमी होती है कि they have got decent accuracy in verbal ability. Till now they have realized that जो intuition आ रहा होता है while solving RC वो ज्यादातर गलत होता है. And if you are able to understand the question well, then go for it, otherwise नहीं. ठीक है, अगर आप इंग्लिश सुपर डुपर है तो then take 3 or 5 or 7 minutes from any other section and you can complete all the 6 passages. Yes, we can do the subject to the condition. You have great exceptional quality speed in this reading speed in verbal ability.
Right, sir. So another question for you is that, sir, I am not able to concentrate in logical and my score in logical is the least. What should I do?
जिनको लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में प्रॉब्लम नजर आता है उनको लॉजिकल स्पेलिंग जो इलॉजिकल नजर आते हैं. They think that section's name is illogical reasoning because they are not able to figure out the logic in the paragraph itself. they बोलते हैं इसमें हो लॉजिक क्या है, the simple story given है ना, इसमें लॉजिक क्या है. So they think that nothing personal, no offenses guys, but they think that logical reasoning तो इसका नाम ही नहीं होना चाहिए, इसका नाम होना चाहिए illogical reasoning. Because
also sir, the fact here is that student attempts the paper दो choices के बीच में आके फंस जाता है, गलत choice mark करने के बाद बोलता है अरे पेपर सही था.
This is a very important question. I'll be handling this, answering this question. So, logical reasoning with the CR paragraph, you need to read the paragraph very, even more carefully than your English RCs. Because वहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा जरूर होगा जहाँ पे वो twist and turns होंगे in the story itself. Because definitely we should be asked the main idea, strengthen, weaken, assumption, inference. So we need to read the paragraph very carefully because condensed होता है. अगर एक paragraph बहुत lengthy होगा तो उसमें information सारा पहले से author ने दे दिया है. So we just have to retain the stuff while answering the question. You can go back to the passage and can come back and answer the question. But CR के अंदर अगर आपको main point नहीं समझ आ रहा है तो आपको strengthen, weaken फिर guess करोगे. It's very important to understand the reasoning part in the CR section. वो नहीं तो वो आपको पढ़ नहीं आएगा.
Right, sir. Sir, another question that most of the students do ask me here is कि ma'am, how can we guess that which question should we attempt?
Okay, which question should we attempt?
So guesswork is not working with the students here.
इसका simple सा test है. For example, if you are reading one RC, it is not anywhere written in the Constitution of India that you have to attempt all the question based on that RC. ठीक है, all the 5 questions. Yeah, 6 question into 5 passages or 5 question into 6 passages. So for example, after reading one RC, you are able to understand only 4 questions. 5th question, you are not able to figure out or understand it well. So 5th छोड़ दो ना. किसने कहा कि आपको वो 5 के 5 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं, आपकी मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. अगर आपने नहीं किया तो बाहर पुलिस खड़ी आपको पकड़ के ले जाएगी. ये क्लैट अथॉरिटीज आपको चालान करेगा और आपको 10,000 का चालान देना पड़ेगा. यू लेफ्ट 20 क्वेश्चन या ओवरऑल 20 पर क्वेश्चन 1,000 तो 20,000 का चालान फिल करो. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. सो आफ्टर रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन, ध्यान स्टूडेंट्स, if after reading RC or CR question, if you are not able to anticipate, मैं पूछता हूँ what is the main idea of this passage? We have been asked what is the main idea. If you are not able to anticipate the main idea, आप प्रॉब्लम में आने वाले हो. और अब होगा क्या, नेक्स्ट स्टेप वुड बी आप यू विल स्टार्ट सर्चिंग द ऑप्शंस फॉर द मेन आइडिया. ऑप्शन से क्यों पूछूं? अगर मैं पूछता हूँ व्हाट इज योर नेम, तो 10th क्लास का सर्टिफिकेट देख के थोड़ा नाम बताओगे अपना. इट्स सो फेमिलियर, यू आर बोर्न विद योर नेम, सो सर लेट मी चेक माय 10th क्लास सर्टिफिकेट टू चेक माय नेम अगेन. भाई अगर आपको बार बार पैराग्राफ पढ़ने के बाद यू आर नॉट एबल टू कैप्चर की मेन बात क्या थी, एटलीस्ट गेट द लिटिल आइडिया ऑफ व्हाट वाज द मेन आइडिया. Now after anticipation, now scan. Inference में हम anticipation नहीं कर सकते. Rest we all can anticipation about the question types. थोड़ा सा सोचो, read the question, stop. Do not scan the options immediately. Anticipate कि इसका ऐसा आंसर होना चाहिए. Then scan the option. You will reach your destination with 99.99% accuracy.
Right, sir. So now I'll be taking 2 questions. So the very first question is that what are the common mistakes that the students make while preparing for the exam, and the next one is of course related to it, that why do students generally hesitate in giving mocks? See, the biggest mistake is that the students don't give mocks on time, right? They don't take the number of mocks that they should take. Why I stress on taking mocks is because only then will you be able to understand that what do you actually know and what you need to put in more efforts on, right? So one thing that you need to understand here is कि आपको अपने आप को एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा टाइम टू टाइम. आपको ये पता लगाना पड़ेगा कि आपने जो प्रेपरेशन करी है क्या वो अप टू द मार्क है या नहीं है. ऑल्सो इफ यू आर लैकिंग इन अ पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट, हाउ विल यू गेट टू नो इफ यू विल नॉट assess yourself? This is my question. That is why the biggest mistake in preparation is not giving enough number of mocks, right? This is the very first thing. And the next thing of course is not giving yourself ample time to revise. What students do is कि वो सिर्फ पढ़ते ही रह जाते हैं, एंड मोमेंट तक सिर्फ नोट्स ही बन रहे होते हैं. सो व्हाट यू गाइस डोंट डू इज दैट यू डोंट रिवाइज. सी, द आइडियल स्ट्रैटेजी शुड बी कि जब आप पढ़ रहे हो आपको थोड़ा टाइम अपने लिए रिवीजन के लिए भी रखना चाहिए. दिस इज व्हाट आई टेल एवरीवन कि अगर आप आज के दिन में आपने कुछ पढ़ा है, सो इन द इवनिंग यू शुड रिवाइज एवरीथिंग. ऑल्सो वंस योर सिलेबस इज ओवर, यू शुड रिवाइज एट लीस्ट ट्वाइस द entire syllabus twice. This is how you will retain what you have learned. एक बार ही पढ़ के समझ आ जाता है कि हाँ भी समझ आ गया, बट उसको दिमाग में बिठाना भी तो है ना. सो रिविजन इज द की, राइट. सेकेंड थिंग, मॉक्स दो, जितने हो सकते हैं मॉक्स दो, राइट. खुद को एनालाइज करो, एनालाइज योर मॉक्स वेरी केयरफुली. एंड एनालिसिस कैसे होगा? मॉक्स के सारे क्वेश्चंस को दोबारा रिपीट करो, चाहे वो सही है चाहे वो गलत है. सही है तो यू विल रिपीट देम, राइट. गलत है तो यू विल एटलीस्ट लर्न समथिंग न्यू, राइट. दिस इज व्हाट यू शुड डू एंड दिस इज हाउ you should actually prepare. And these are the mistakes, two biggest mistakes that students make while preparing for any exam, right? I hope I have clearly answered your question, right? So the next question for you here is that what is the major area that should be covered in English and why? So a repeated question.
English is consisting of only RCs and
Right.
focus more on humanities areas like art, literature, history. Now we are left with only 7 days. There's no point in focusing on areas separately, but keep in touch with reading newspaper on regular basis. Likewise, we are doing till now, and revise. अब जो आपने मॉक मिस भी कर दिए, डू नॉट वरी अबाउट मिसिंग एनी मॉक राइट नाउ. जस्ट अटेम्प्ट देम एंड रीड ऑल द पैसेजेस जो पहले आपने पैसेज छोड़े थे मॉक्स के अंदर, चाहे क्लैट विन था चाहे मॉक था, जो पैसेज आपने छोड़े उनको पढ़ लो ध्यान से. Read them so as to get the variety, and reading say mind would be in touch or will be familiar with the reading essence of reading, so that वहां पे उस दिन आपको और ना लगे कि इतना सारा पढ़ना पड़ रहा है. So there is no strategy. English is RC only, and RC is reading comprehension. So reading को आप without reading कैसे कर सकते हो? So reading के in touch रहना जरूरी है, and read all the leftover passages you left while taking the all win clats and mock clats.
So another question here is, sir, first we will read the questions for RCs, then start reading the passage. Sometimes we can't understand the passage, but with full concentration, but sometimes the para is so complicated. So this is the problem with RC.
This is very simple question, and problem is very simple. This is only psychological fear. So after reading couple of lines, starting lines, middle lines, and last couple of lines, if you're not able to understand after 1 or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, if you're not able to understand the RC, the flow, the subject here present in the RC, it's better to leave that passage. मतलब वो passage आपके हाथ में आने नहीं वाला है. One, read the passage first and then go for the questions. अगर आपने question पढ़ लिया, for example, we generally we are given 5 questions after the passage, any passage. So if you, and it's next to impossible to retain all the 5 questions while reading the passage. आपको एक आधा question याद रह जाएगा, आप उसी का पूरे passage में answer ढूंढते रहोगे and you will miss the big picture. So read the passage carefully and then go for the question. Question पढ़ के आपने passage किया, you will be committing ये crime है Indian court of law.
So another question for us is that why do students hesitate to give mocks?
Okay.
My answer would be ask the students, of course. So what would be your answer?
जो students डरते हैं वो उनका एक psychological fear है, because they are only worried about the marks. अगर marks कम आए तो क्या होगा? Mocks का purpose is not to look at the marks you are getting, score you are getting. Purpose is to learn time management. One. Second is to know our strengths and weaknesses. Third is what kind of mistakes are we committing. For example, if you are committing silly mistakes, revise the concept. Do not make sure that you do not commit the same mistakes next time. If you are committing conceptual mistakes, then go and revise the concept. Score का कोई importance नहीं है in 50% of the mocks. First 50% of the mocks meant to analyze, to learn time management, kind of mistakes we are committing, and our strengths and weaknesses. मॉक्स का स्कोर, जो लोग स्कोर को देखते हैं वो लोग डरते हैं. Those who want to remove their weaknesses, shortcomings, they will eagerly go for mocks. So at this age, those who are very sensitive souls and those who are worried about their images in the front of their family members and in front of they want to post their scores on Facebook, वो लोग थोड़ा डरते हैं.
So this is a generation of reels and Instagram, sir. No Facebook.
Image conscious. काहे का image conscious होना इतनी जरूरत है? So mocks आपके लिए हैं. You'll be selected or rejected as per your abilities. आपके दोस्त आपकी तारीफ कर रहे हैं that bro you are doing fine. उसके कहने से आपकी selection नहीं होगी. और वो अगर आपका दोस्त कह रहा है कि that you are not doing fine, you're not doing well in your exams or studies, तो उससे रिजेक्शन नहीं होने वाला. रिजेक्शन और सिलेक्शन वुड बी एज पर योर कैपेबिलिटीज. सो अपने को आपको करना है, आपको किसी से कंपेयर नहीं करना. कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में एक एसेंस है कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम का. एनी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम यू टॉक अबाउट क्लैट, एलिट, यू टॉक अबाउट एनी एग्जाम, सो यू विल बी सिलेक्टेड और रिजेक्टेड एज पर योर कैपेबिलिटीज, नॉट व्हाट अदर्स आर डूइंग. तो ये इमेज कॉन्शियस लोग हैं जो वो डरते हैं मॉक देने से, जो ईगर हैं अपने अंदर, और ये लोग जो मानते हैं ना कि वी आर बॉर्न परफेक्ट, हमारे अंदर कोई कमी हो ही नहीं सकती. तो वो लोग भी डरते हैं क्योंकि वो एकदम देंगे टेस्ट, होने लगेगा कि तो स्कोर कम आ गया तो हमारे अंदर कमी निकल गई, से दे वांट टू रन अवे फ्रॉम द रियलिटीज. आप दोगे नहीं तो आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, आपको नहीं पता लगेगा, हमें नहीं पता लगेगा, तो विल नॉट बी इन पोजीशन टू हेल्प यू. सो डू नॉट बी इमेज कॉन्शियस. लास्ट के 7 दिन रह गए, सो लेफ्ट ओवर मॉक्स करो with focus on your mistakes or time management, and be in touch with the mindset of the exam. That's it.
ठीक है. Sir, another thing that I would like to add on here is कि see guys, you just need to remember कि mocks के basis पे आपको कोई college allot नहीं होता है. आपको अपने final exam के score पे ही college allot होता है. ठीक है. So mocks की tension ना लो. It is just an analysis of what you're doing. राइट आपने कितनी मेहनत करी है, आपको किस जगह पे और मेहनत डालनी है. जस्ट कीप द साइकोलॉजी क्लियर कि मॉक्स का काम सिर्फ असेस करना होता है, इंसान को उसकी गलतियां बताना होता है, नथिंग मोर और लेस. राइट नाउ सर अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट वी हैव हियर इज सर व्हाट शुड बी द लास्ट 7 days schedule because the time is so stressful.
Yeah, so in last 7 days do not start anything new. I already mentioned, so make sure that you divide the time intelligently, because at the same time your board exam, pre-board exams are also happening or would start soon. So make sure that you read 1 hour newspaper on daily basis, in addition to revising legal aptitude, current GK, etc. Make sure that you read 1 hour newspaper on daily basis till last day, and then divide in these 7 days. You just have to revise the stuff. Do not start anything new. English में only RCs are there. Critical reasoning में we have to select the paragraph, we have to solve the paragraphs. Know if you are missing any trick to solve any particular question, just practice. Quant में revise only formulas. Out of 8 or 10 topics that you have in quantitative aptitude mathematics in layman's term, so उसमें से देख लो कि आपके जो strong areas थे उनके formulas revise कर लो, because most of the time we have seen that students are not able to recall the formula. Question आता था, सब कुछ आता था, वो formula याद नहीं आया, वो shortcut याद नहीं आया of profit and loss और whichever. So अभी revision, nothing start नहीं करना, 1 घंटा न्यूज़पेपर जो पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है. Then it depends on how much time one is devoting for this preparation. So अगर आप 6 घंटे दे रहे हैं, 7 घंटे दे रहे हैं, तो एक दिन के अंदर आप 2 या 3 सब्जेक्ट से ज्यादा मत पढ़े. मतलब do not think that you will be able to cover legal aptitude 2 chapters, current affairs 2 chapters, and logical reasoning. Logical reasoning का चैप्टर तो है ही नहीं, only questions are there. English is also, RC is only there. लीगल में मैं कह सकता हूँ कि चैप्टर्स होंगे. तो लीगल के अंदर भी आप जो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, जो पॉइंटर आपने बताया कि दैट यू इंसर्ट द स्टिकी नोट्स, तो उनको मेन चीजें रिवाइज करनी है. एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू डू नॉट लीव एनीथिंग फॉर लास्ट मिनट प्रिपरेशन. और पेपर से एक दिन पहले कुछ भी नहीं करना. यू जस्ट हैव टू रिलैक्स. You just follow your daily routine, जो भी आपका बायोरिदम होता है. Sleep well before the exam. काफी लोग होते हैं रात के 4 बजे तक वो लीगल जीके पढ़ रहे होते हैं या लीगल एप्टीट्यूड पढ़ रहे होते हैं, और दोस्तों को व्हाट्सएप करते हैं, डूड व्हाट अबाउट दिस आर्टिकल नंबर दिस एंड दिस. उसका कोई फायदा नहीं, बिकॉज यू हैव टू हैव वेरी एनर्जेटिक एंड फ्रेश माइंड टू अटेम्प्ट द पेपर. ये स्कूल के पेपर नहीं है कि आपके लास्ट मिनट की प्रिपरेशन में यू रिवाइज, यू क्रैम एंड यू वॉमिट आउट द स्टफ. यहाँ पे सब कुछ होता है, एक दिन पहले कुछ नहीं. सो हम 7 days भी ना बोले, 6 days आर देयर. एक दिन पूरा रिलैक्स करो. स्लीप वट एवर टाइम यू नीड टू रेस्ट योर माइंड एंड बॉडी. रिलैक्स रहो एंड बी प्रिपेयर्ड, कि ईगर रहो कि ठीक है जो भी आपका टाइम है उसमें होता है. तो एक दिन पहले कुछ नहीं करना है. ओनली रीडिंग 6 days, रिवाइजिंग not more than 3 to 4 CR passages in a day, और लीगल और करंट में से 2 चैप्टर कोई एक सब्जेक्ट करते चले जाओ इन अ डे.
राइट सर. Also sir, I would like to add here is कि stress लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. You guys have already prepared. You've prepared enough. Just believe in yourselves. Just believe in the preparation that you've done, and also believe in time. Right? So all you need to do is that you have to strategize as to paper के दिन क्या करना है. उससे पहले just revise the major stuff. GK में I've already told you guys, current affairs is the key. Do revise them. Notes that you've prepared for legal will be helpful right now. And in English, of course, reading till the last end. Also, last तक पढ़ो जितना पढ़ सकते हो. एक newspaper रोज का पढ़ सकते हो, 2 articles पढ़ सकते हो, but पढ़ो. One thing that you need to remember here is कि इस time पे overburden नहीं करना है खुद को. ये नहीं है कि तुम 12-12 घंटे रोज के पढ़ रहे हो. It won't make any sense right now, right? So another question here is that how to improve focus for straight 2 hours. Start giving mocks. At least give 2 mocks before you give the final paper.
Leftover mocks, yeah, go for missed mocks. Right now you missed initially, take 2. इसमें 6 days के अंदर make sure that you do not take more than 3 mocks. 3 से ज़्यादा मत दो. You take 3 mocks and analyze the kind of mistakes you are committing. Do not look at the scores even whenever you are taking the mocks, 3 mocks, 4 mocks. 3 से ज़्यादा देने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. That you want to go for 3 mocks per day, sir. 6 days रह गए मेरे, 18 mocks मैंने नहीं दिया था. Per day I'll take 3 mocks and I'll finish the remaining quota. कोई राशन की बात नहीं हो रहा है. Only 2 to 3 mocks and analyze the mistakes you're committing and make sure that you're able to manage the time. सिर्फ time की game रह जाती है last के अंदर. If you have prepared well, then students are not able to manage the time in the real on D-Day. So जो भी English का time रखा है 25-30 minutes देख लो and try this time management in these 3 mocks that you'll be taking right now in these within 6 days. So इस 3 से ज़्यादा mocks at the max कोई बहुत ही ज़्यादा dedicated है तो 4 से ज़्यादा mocks लेने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. Till last night you're revising taking 1 mock, उसका कोई फायदा नहीं. So only 3 mocks, revise, consolidate and be positive. ये एग्जाम फोबिया जो हम सबको होता है बचपन से, and this is very normal. हम 5th क्लास से क्या होता है, जैसे एग्जामिनिंग सेंटर के अंदर जाने की बात कर रहे होते हैं तो एकदम लगता है सब कुछ भूल गया. And when we are given the paper and we start writing the answers, then everything will come out automatically. ये 5th क्लास से होता आ रहा है and this time it's no different. So वो होगा पेपर से पहले, लीगल में हमने पढ़ा क्या था. काफी लोगों को लगता है लीगल पढ़ा ही नहीं. हम लीगल में पढ़ा क्या है. काफी बोलते तूने स्पेलिंग पढ़े हैं, LEGAL, इसको लीगल, ये हमने पढ़ा है. यस ये हमने पढ़ा है. सो यू नीड टू मोटिवेट योरसेल्फ. मोटिवेशन के लिए आपको एक्सटर्नल की जरूरत नहीं, इंटरनल मोटिवेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड एंड बी प्रिपेयर्ड. यू ऑलरेडी हैव डन सो वेल टिल नाउ. 10th में तुम्हारा अच्छा स्कोर था, यू स्कोर्ड 10 CGP. 12th में यू आर bound to get good scores. You all are very good students. You are well supported by your family, teachers, school teachers, and here at Bullseye also, at Bullseye we support you a lot. So nothing to worry about. डरना किस बात का है? Right. You have nothing to lose.
So sir has already summed up the entire session, I guess, in the last few minutes. Thank you, sir, for summing up the entire
session. My pleasure.
So I guess, guys, all your questions have already been answered. If you have any question, you can write down here. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up the session now. Any more questions on your part? So what should improve in study? In study, what should improve? So can you answer this question?
Yes, your intention, your mindset. You should have good intention towards studies and make sure that studies or your hard work will take you to the places, not the support from any political leader or the money, etc. you have. It's only your efforts, hardworking nature and sincerity. इतना ही काफी है.
इतना ही चाहिए.
इतना ही चाहिए राइज होने के लिए.
Right. So I guess, guys, we've already answered all your questions. Even if then you have any queries, you can always ask us anytime. Right? Sir, thank you so much for sparing your time. It was a great session, sir.
Thank you. And my pleasure to interact. You have given me this opportunity to interact with young minds. So they are our future. We are their past.
Right.
All the best, guys. And be positive. Keep smiling. पता नहीं टेंशन किस बात की है. छोटे छोटे से हैं नहीं, इतनी टेंशन रखते हैं लोग. Right. All the best, guys.
All the best, everyone. So we'll be taking a leave now. Bye-bye, guys. Take care. And please do well in your